Morning everybody, we're heading to breakfast. Answer to yesterday's question, why do Titleist make a full ball range? And much of you were kind of getting the basic principle. It is to just service you from my testing, and I think a lot of what Titleist have really publicised, really you should all be using Pro V1 or Pro V1X, which I'll continue to go on. If you watch my ball reviews, you'll see why I say that. So I think they make it just because they would be kind of silly not to. They want to sell golf balls. What company doesn't want to sell its products? So today's question, how much effect does grip size have on shot shape? Full swings coming at you today. This guy's got a lot of up and down in there and club face issues. Another yummy breakfast, Matthew.
Was nice, wasn't it? Was nice.
Heading back for a morning of editing, and then we're going to do a bit of filming on the course later, and then we're flying tonight, 9:30. So looking at today's swing, we see a couple of things I want to think about. So we see quite a stand up as he moves back. Camera's moving around a bit, but he is standing up. Also what we're seeing is we're seeing the club moving away from him a little bit too much as well. So often with players you can link these two things together. Then we see a downswing where I would say it's hard to see with the face blurring there, but the wrist angles don't look that creative on the way down. Or certainly the face control doesn't, with an object of a very big desire to swing left. Very flat hip turn as well. So we're going to talk about how using your body in a different way can encourage a different path, certainly built around some better face angles. So the first thing we better check is your grip. Let's make sure we're seeing a good 2 or 3 knuckles on that left hand, top hand. None of this one business. Then in turn, right hand more here. If your right hand is over here, this isn't gonna help. Obviously, I can't see your grip from that video, but looking at your wrist conditions and where the face looks like it's going on a downswing, it hints that it might be a bit weak. Check that first. So once you've checked that grip, let's see if we can deal with this kind of up and down movement. First drill I want you to do is just hold your left hand on top of the club here. Literally the club is just upright. And what I want you to do is simply feel like you're pushing down on this club as you push your hands up over your right shoulder. The club will move out because obviously it can't go down this way. Now you want to move back this way, which makes the club stand upright. It doesn't have to push out because your left hand doesn't want to push down onto it. So common with people who want to use the face more twisting with loft. So what people would call maybe tempting the face to be open to a pass, start getting their body involved in the control of the club face. So I want to try and take that out. So again, push your left hand down on the grip, literally push that club out in front of you. As you push down into it, it'll feel like your left shoulder's going down as your right hand goes up. Give you a great feel of how to try and turn your backswing in a slightly different way. Let's answer your questions.
Hey Mark, I wondered if you could talk a little bit on the mental side of the game, please. Struggling a bit with thought process when I'm stood over the ball, and I find that a lot of my bad shots, I think, down to me getting quite nervous, negative thoughts in my head while I'm over the ball. For example, I'm just about to hit a 5-iron and all I can think about is the last time I hit the 5-iron I pushed it into the trees on the right. Yeah, I'd be really grateful if you could tell me, you know, what's going on in your head while you stood over the ball, your pre-shot routine, to stop that tension building up, because I find that that's what causes a lot of my bad shots. Cheers, brah.
No, I like this question because I challenge it with students. Basically, you'll have a certain pattern of shots. So a certain pattern of misses with a 5-iron, a certain pattern of misses with a driver, and a certain pattern of misses with chipping or what have you. So if you take my chipping, for example, where I would feel a bit anxious, I'm anxious because I know my pattern of chipping is hit a few duffs. So the anxiety is built around poor execution of the shot. So what I do do to try and beat that anxiety is I know I have very little control of it on the course. I do as much practice as I can. And if I was serious about playing golf still, I would do a lot of practice and I would beat it. I do the odd thing with my chipping, like I try not to take very long. I try to get on with it. I feel if I stew over it, it takes away the natural ability, tension comes in and I feel other things. So you can do a few things like that. And then the other thing is I play within my patterns. So I won't do the chip that costs me the most shots all the time. I'll do the one where I get a more reliable pattern, 7-iron runs or what have you, a running shot with less spin. So again, it's not, the tension is bred, it comes from the other way around for me. So it's about you learning your patterns with those clubs and then learning when to go for the shot and when to defend, because the pattern is, let's say it's only 30% success rate with your 5-iron, then I'm going to be saying let's hit a 7-iron and pitch on a bit more, or let's gamble. It's knowing that percentage with each shot that will allow you to get round and feel less tension and try and correct the things that are creating the tension. It's those issues that create the tension, it's not the tension's fault. Shall we lunch first before we set down to some work, bro?
Yeah, why not?
I'm sure the last time I turned this camera on, we had just come out of breakfast.
Eat my food.
So next idea you could do this at home. One hand practice swings with just your right hand on the club. I've got a wedge, you can use a short club. I'm going to hold halfway down the handle as well. So again, to get rid of this standing up on the way through, just a few little kind of pitch swings where you stop with your right arm across your chest, right shoulder. My right shoulder is pointing down at my kind of middle of my feet position. So if I look where my right shoulder is, it's in the middle of my 2 feet. So if I was to stand up, I can't see my feet, it's covering them. Just simple ideas of turning through with that body set at a slightly more constructive angle that will kind of correlate a bit more with what we did on the practice range over there for the backswing. This is a great drill. You can do it at home, you can do it anywhere. Don't even need a club. And then as always on that downswing, feeling like you're flattening that lead wrist with your new grip if it is changed is not going to do any harm while trying to keep your body moving around some better angles on the backswing and downswing. Cranes are big, aren't they, Matt? It's not that time again, is it, Matt?
Yeah, why not, eh? Another bit of food.
Right, there we go, that is a week. That's a water. At Las Colinas Golf and Country Club. Wasn't that fun, Matthew?
That was very fun, Mark.
How's that muffin?
It's delicious.
Flying in about 30 minutes. See you next week. Remember, hit the thumbs up button. And while you're down there, post a comment and hit that subscribe button. See you next week.